The fifth dimension is not a physical place, but a frequency of consciousness. To make it easier to understand, imagine that your mind is like a radio station. Throughout your life, you've been tuned to a particular frequency. Now the dial is changing. The fifth dimension is not visible to the eyes, but its influence can be felt in the body, mind, and soul. Here, time ceases to be linear and becomes fluid. What once seemed to take years to happen now occurs in weeks, days, or even instantly. In the third dimension, time is like a straight line, but in the fifth dimension, it resembles a spiral where everything is happening at once. Another fundamental aspect of this new dimension is the intensification of intuition. In the third dimension, you need logic and analysis to make decisions. In the fifth dimension, you simply know. The answers do not need to come from the outside, but from within. It's as if a flow of information becomes more accessible, and the feeling of knowing something without concrete evidence becomes increasingly frequent. Many people are already experiencing this, and maybe you're one of them. One of the biggest milestones of the fifth dimension is the end of separation. The concept of I versus the other begins to disappear. You start to feel a deep connection with all things, with nature, animals, the people around you, and even with the universe. There is no longer the feeling of isolation or spiritual loneliness. On the contrary, you begin to realize that you are part of a greater web, where everyone is interconnected. But the great transformation does not come from the outside. It begins inside each of us. Our thoughts, emotions, and vibrations begin to resonate at a higher frequency. This means that instead of reacting to the world around you, you begin to create the world around you. If you once believed that the external controlled the internal, now you realize that it's the opposite. The more positive and elevated your vibration, the more you shape the reality around you. And this is the great secret of the chosen ones. They don't wait for the world to change. They change the world from the inside out. Many chosen ones are already feeling the symptoms of this change. It manifests in the physical body, emotions, and mind. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of fatigue, sudden headaches, or an intense desire to isolate yourself from the chaos of the outside world? These are clear signs that your body is recalibrating its energies. Many people report feeling pressure in the forehead, which is nothing more than the activation of the third eye, the center of intuition. Others notice that their sleep patterns have completely changed, with insomnia or vivid and symbolic dreams. Emotions are also undergoing a cleansing. Before, you might have been able to hide emotions like anger, sadness, or frustration. But in the fifth dimension, this becomes almost impossible. Emotions surface and need to be processed and released. This happens because the frequency of the fifth dimension does not tolerate emotional density. Low vibration emotions like fear, resentment, and guilt are naturally eliminated, and for this, they need to come to the surface. If you are going through this process, know that you are not alone. This is part of the plan.